So now I just want to expand and build upon what it is that you already understand. Now we're looking very much at resolve. So we've looked at the A's and the B's and the C's, and it's one thing being aware of how it is that our automatic thought processes are influencing our emotional consequences in life. That's fantastic, but so what? All right. Yes, it's great growing in this new level of awareness, but we want to, in some way, develop a habit that's really going to enable us to respond to our undesired, unwanted emotions and things like that in a way that's really going to serve us in a positive way. So everything's outcome focused all of the time, isn't it? Here, let me introduce you now to the A, B, C's, D's and E's of CBT and REBT. Now, just to kind of fill in a few voids here, some people ask the question, what's the difference between CBT and REBT? And Kane, you're merging a lot of Albert Ellis's works in with this course here, CBT, which is primarily Aaron Beck. Well, look, I think it was Albert Ellis who came up with the ABC, but then it was Aaron Beck who built upon it and built in the D and the E, which actually just gives us more of a holistic, grounded, helping framework to best serve other people. Ideas build upon ideas. This course could be, a REBT practitioner course, but CBT is just more rounded, right? It's just more holistic. So this REBT was the starting point, rational emotive behavioral therapy, but CBT was kind of what built upon the ideas of REBT and gave us this helping framework that we have today that's used in hospitals and helping organizations pretty much all around the world. So we understand A's are activating events. We understand B's are beliefs, which can be cognitive distortions, cognitive biases, prejudices, all this kind of thing, the assumptions that we make sometimes about ourselves or other people. We know that the assumptions and our perception and how we perceive our activating in life's events determine how it is that we feel. So this gives us a basic understanding, a starting point if you like, but it doesn't paint the full picture, all right? This was pretty much what Albert Ellis offered the world. Aaron Beck built upon this, and he said, okay, fantastic. So now we understand how it is that our thoughts and our beliefs are influencing and impacting our emotional experience, but so what? What next? Well, now we've got to start looking at disputing the belief. We've got to start looking at it from different angles. We've got to start perceiving our circumstances, situations differently. We've got to be aware of what we're thinking first and foremost, and it's not about changing our perception sometimes of the event. It's actually just becoming more aware of our own awareness of the event. Does that make sense? Think about the 5 levels of awareness that I presented you with in the Ulrich Nieser's videos just a couple of clips ago. So here we want to be looking at disputing the belief, stretching it, pulling it apart, giving it a good shake up, questioning it, just to evaluate the health of the thought or the worldview or the assumption or the accuracy of it. All right. Once we have done this, then what we go on to look at is the new effect. All right. So C, what we're looking at here is 2 different levels of effect. There's the first effect, the consequential emotion, which is in response to the belief or the cognitive distortion. But then we have the secondary effect after D, which is when we get to analyze and objectively look at what has actually changed in our perception when we simply learn to look at our circumstances, situations differently in life. All right, I think earlier on we looked at cognitive flexibility. All right, this is the framework and the model that allows us to help other people grow in cognitive flexibility. All right, this gets us so far. This section here kind of helps us to become more aware of ourselves. But it's actually this phase here, this D and the E, that allows us to develop cognitive flexibility and also become slightly more objective in life. So there's not really too much more to this. It's a very, very simple model, all right? Please do not undermine the power of it just because it's simple. There is in the main resource that I presented to you a few videos ago, you'll find this model or this worksheet in there. And what you might want to do, you might want to print this off a number of times and start practicing it on people when they come to you having problems. If you've got a friend who's just always complaining about someone, about factors of their life, this is a great model. In the video that follows, I'm going to invite Karen to come and join me in the hot seat once again, and I'm going to guide her through this entire process. All right, give you a full demonstration. And if you use the worksheet, you'll be able to follow along and see if you can take notes. The activating event, the belief of the cognitive distortion, what the consequential emotion was for Karen's, in response to Karen's event, and then have a look to identify what actually changes. So follow along as if you are now the CBT practitioner and you're working on Karen. I'll say all the stuff, but you write down all the notes. So is this okay? I'll do all the presenting, you do all the note keeping. Good stuff. I'll see you in the next clip.